Hershey, a tiny chocolate-colored Chihuahua, was a whirlwind of energy. Her best friend, Huggy, a slightly fluffier Chihuahua with a perpetually happy grin, matched her stride for stride. Their favorite place in the world was the sprawling field behind Hershey's house, a sun-drenched expanse of tall grasses that whispered secrets with every breeze. Every morning, as soon as the dew had lifted, Hershey would nudge her owner's hand with her wet nose, her tail a rapid blur. Huggy would be waiting at the back door, a low, excited whine rumbling in his chest. Once unleashed, they'd explode into the field, two brown blurs against the green. They had their rituals. First, a mad dash to the ancient oak tree at the far end, their little legs pumping furiously, ears flattened by the wind. Then, a game of stalk the grasshopper, where they'd creep through the tall stalks, noses twitching, before pouncing with exaggerated ferocity on an unsuspecting insect. They'd chase butterflies, their barks like tiny explosions of joy. Sometimes they'd discover a cluster of wild strawberries, their small pink tongues darting out to taste the sweet sun-warmed fruit. Other days, it would be a particularly interesting rock, smooth and cool to their paws, or a patch of unusually vibrant wildflowers that they'd sniff with intense concentration. They weren't just running. They were exploring, sniffing out every new scent, investigating every rustle, their bright, intelligent eyes missing nothing. The field was their kingdom, a canvas for their endless curiosity and zest for life. They'd tumble and wrestle, play growling at each other, their movements surprisingly agile for such small dogs. When they finally tired, which was usually well into the afternoon, they'd collapse in a panting heap under the shade of the oak tree, their little bodies rising and falling with contented breaths. They'd lie there, side by side, watching the clouds drift by, occasionally nudging each other with a soft sigh. As the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting long golden shadows across their beloved field, they'd slowly make their way back, their paws dusty, their tails still wagging, albeit a little slower. Exhausted but exhilarated, Hershey and Huggy would drift off to sleep, dreaming of new adventures waiting for them in the field the very next day. They lived each moment with an unbridled enthusiasm, proving that even the smallest creatures could find immense joy in the simple act of discovery and the companionship of a true friend.